feel bad for Kaisen, and I feel bad for the community because a lot of people really wanted to see what was next. They were so excited for this new evolution in storytelling within the culling games. Kenjaku was finally making his move in a really massive way, and after all of the incredible fights and build-up that we've got for characters and interactions, we were finally here. However, here did not look very bright, and unfortunately, it's only spiraling quicker and quicker. See, the thing is, a lot of people asked for this, but I know a lot of people are going to be very upset with how this recontextualizes Kaisen's narrative, how it puts it within a new perspective when it comes to characters that may live or die by the end of the story. And I think Sukuna becoming more involved within the culling games, becoming more involved with Yuji and now specifically Megumi, really brings that idea forward a lot quicker than a lot of people were anticipating. See, you may have mentally prepped for a lot of people dying, but I can only assume that you weren't ready for it to come this quick, this powerful, this overly aggressive nature that links itself to Sukuna as a being, one like no other. I caught up in a really good time. Having Sukuna take over Megumi's body has thrown everyone's theories off course, even if you've seen this coming in some way, how quick it all unravels itself, how fierce and vicious Sukuna truly is and doesn't hold back whatsoever, truly takes you by surprise. And I would say it's part of the genius that Akutami likes to weave within his story. You never see certain things coming. Even if you do, you don't expect it to arrive so quickly and up in your face and throw you across the room. So all of these story points, all of these developments, all of these theories and ideas that are all up in the air that all could be possible, little by little Akutami is axing them off, but elevating others in return and throttling them towards you. Naturally, you will become overwhelmed. And I think this situation calls for it because it is very much within your face, and that is the point. There wasn't this slow, eerie build-up of Megumi being taken over. There wasn't this slow, lingering realization from other characters that are witnessing this all go down. Even Yuji is stunned and shocked by the situation. He no longer has power residing in him. He no longer has a healing factor that is beneficial. He can now be realistically killed. The thing is, as soon as you even comprehend that idea of Yuji not healing, he gets thrown through like 7 buildings. He's done. He's not dead, but he's going to be severely injured. Now, other people can obviously heal him, but it's not a safe environment for him. He's not powerful enough. He's not quick enough. And even though we've seen him thrive and shine throughout the story, now he truly is just a cog in a machine, and one that is lacking very far behind everyone else. So it does bring up a lot of other questions, because Sukuna is on a warpath right now. He's finally coming out to play, and he's utilizing all of the abilities that Megumi has, but on a much larger and a much more dangerous scale. What can Yuji really do but try to survive? And even that has to be joined with someone else that can use reverse curse technique on him. Is there some sort of awakening for Yuji? Is there some sort of ability or lingering essence of Sukuna's power that Yuji has managed to morph into his own body? We don't know. All we have currently is Megumi, and the hope that whatever soul, personality, or emotion that Megumi has remains. The chance of that is extremely slim. You can cross your fingers and hope that maybe Megumi can somehow, some way suppress Sukuna, if only a little bit, to buy enough time for everyone else involved to secure him, destroy him, stop him in some sort of facet with whatever it takes. I absolutely adore the switch up with jumping out of Yuji and going into Megumi, because it kind of brings everything that you're so comfortable with, that you've come to know throughout the story, to a halt. It throws everything out the window and actually makes it even more complicated than it was before. See, you get this information from Yuji himself when he says that he was going to take himself out, that he was going to give Sukuna and himself up to Angel, so they could obviously get Gojo back and everything would be fine and dandy, and Yuji was willing to sacrifice himself. It's a sad reality, but it's something that he's always known. But now he's going to feel not only even more hurt, but more useless than what he'd done prior. And the complexity of the situation falls down to people's attachments to Megumi. Funny enough, the only person that really has a chance currently that we know of against Megumi and Sukuna is Angel. Angel's ability is proven to be one of, if not the strongest that we have ever seen throughout the story. It is insane, the scale and scope and the intensity of her ability. It actually manages to somewhat peel and cleanse Sukuna, but not in the way that she would hope. If it was any other character, any other curse, any other situation, I'd imagine this would have worked 99% of the times. But as we all know, Sukuna is that 1% where he just cannot be killed easily. He cannot be destroyed or misplaced or discouraged easily. He is incredibly too powerful. And that realization sinks in that he can stop all of this at 15 fingers. He's not even full power yet. And we don't even know what the Culling Games is going to provide for him. Is he going to use Megumi to create or craft the perfect body? Is he going to absorb a ton of energy throughout the Culling Games and become something else entirely that the human body won't be able to house? But Megumi could definitely create. There's a ton of ideas. And while the power discrepancy between Angel and Sukuna currently is seemingly very far and few between, one of the more compelling threads is that Hana actually has feelings for Megumi. There's a bit of a flashback, there's a bit of a childhood memory there. So she feels indebted not only to him, but genuinely shares some feelings for him. This would prove to be her downfall. After thinking that her powerful ability actually done something, it turns out it's not the case whatsoever. Mind you get a brilliant showcase of it, both her power and her emotions. She is very much upset. She wants Megumi back. And even though this was the original goal with Yuji, it's even more difficult now that it's within Megumi. For what we know currently, she seems like one of the only characters that could deal a massive amount of damage to Sukuna. Is it enough? No, as the healing is pretty much instant with Sukuna, but it does seem to throw him off quite a bit. So much so that he directs his full attention towards her to take her out, pretending to be Megumi, pretending to be healed and cleansed from this whole thing, something that Hana unfortunately falls for. And when they share that embrace, something that she's always wanted, you see this gruesome, evil, conniving panel of Sukuna transforming and about to devour Angel in her entirety. Having the chapter end there is nothing short of brutal because we still don't really know where we go from here. If Angel, of all people, couldn't do all too much against Sukuna in Megumi's body, what else could anyone else do? I like to think of this stage of Sukuna to be the earliest of versions. We've seen one of Megumi's ability transformed and evolved into something so massive, so powerful, bringing down lightning within the city, trying to spread and disperse everyone. And while it seems incredibly strong, there is a litany of others that are infinitely more powerful. And we don't know how Sukuna's influence or his understanding of cursed energy is going to evolve or affect that. I'm thinking of Megumi's domain expansion and Maharaga, not to mention the litany of other Shikigami that Megumi has at his disposal. So while I don't think there is a chance to kill Sukuna here, I do think there is a ever so slight chance that he could be slowed down. And there's a handful of individuals that I think would spearhead this operation pretty well. Originally, Angel was going to be my first pick, and depending on how she comes out of this situation with Sukuna in that final panel, it's kind of make or break. However, we do have Maki, we do have the unknown of Yuta, we have Hakari and specifically Kashimo. If you don't remember, Kashimo has a technique that he created and saved only for Sukuna. And even in the life or death battle that him and Hakari actually had, he never used it. So I am very curious of what this technique actually is and how broken it could be against Sukuna if it is specifically designed for him. And Kashimo is no weakling. He's someone that has proved to be very efficient, very, very powerful, and someone that could potentially be relied upon, if not just to slow Sukuna down for a little bit. Even with these characters and more, you have other people in the picture that are very unpredictable, like Megumi's sister, for example, who we know has shifted the battlefield into her playground so she can fight Sukuna. Now, Sukuna, obviously being in Megumi's body, makes this more complex than it needs to be, and we will most likely have another Angel situation where these fights against Sukuna in Megumi's body are going to be emotionally propelled and have a pretty rough outcome regardless of who wins or loses, especially if the original personality of Megumi or his sister actually remain inside. What I mean by this is that if Megumi is experiencing everything out here but can't actually do anything, can't control nothing, can't communicate, you can imagine how painful it would be if his sister gets annihilated. But I'm sure she's going to put up a bit of a fight as well. I don't think Yozuru, the 1,000-year-old person inside of her, is no laughing matter. They're most likely going to have a pretty broken technique or ability as well, and specifically going straight for Sukuna makes me believe it to be so in some way. Is it going to be enough with everyone involved? Most likely not. This does bring up the question, where do we go from here? Does Sukuna just want Megumi's body and that's it? He's done, find the rest of the fingers and live within here? Or is the culling games going to provide something else for him? The next stage of evolution, the merging process. And I believe the monster that we've seen in connection to Kenjaku might actually be something that Sukuna wants. If humanity merges into Kenjaku's beast and then Sukuna takes Kenjaku's beast, you kind of loosely kill two birds with one stone, but it brings up another question of, what is Kenjaku really doing this for? Is he just a mad scientist that wants to see everything change the way he wants it to, or is there more here? Of course, we are loosely getting closer to the idea of Gojo being released. It's hard to even think of some sort of positive outcome if Gojo gets released and fights Megumi. We don't know the boundaries or limitations of either character, so currently where I sit with this story is that if we go down this route, if Gojo gets unsealed, if Sukuna merges or evolves into another higher being than what he originally was and absorbing a ton of power using Megumi's body as a vessel, I don't think anyone's going to live. There is a very grim fate that Gojo can have, one where he is the sole survivor of this situation. The guilt, the blame, the emotional response to everything would be a nightmare, something that he does not want. But if these two powers collide, I don't see Japan being safe. I don't see half the world being safe. These two will devour it. They will destroy it. The amount of power that could come out from both of them just to try and stop each other would put everything to an end, including the people surrounding them. I don't really know where we go from here, but I want to hear all of your thoughts right now. Thank you.